It's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have the political parties commit to respect the CNC charters. For the international scene, international aid begins to be deployed. Earthquake tolls rises in Turkey. Welcome to our newsroom. Prime Minister Abdulkadir Kamil Mohammed chaired this morning at the Hotel Campeski the Economic Forum Djibouti Monaco. This forum was organized jointly by the Djibouti Chamber of Commerce and the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce of Monaco. This economic forum is a real opportunity for the two business community because it allows to establish links of partnership relations, even to conclude business aimed at the economic and commercial development of our two nations. But it is also a way to consolidate the relations of friendship Djibouti-Monaco, to deepen the collaboration and strategy and strengthen the mechanisms of cooperation. Let us recall that the bold policy of the head of state anxious to make our young nations an economic and logistical hub in the region. This forum saw the participation of the Djiboutian side, the president of the Chamber of Commerce, Yusuf Musa, the Minister of Commerce, Mohamed Warsama, and many economic operators of it, directors and Secretary General on the Monaco side, the Honorary Consul of Monaco, James Jack, and the Executive General Managers of Port Monaco, Mr. Guillaume, were present. The responsible who came from Monaco have in turn mentioned that this forum is an opportunity to consolidate the existing links of the two countries. Listen for more details.
Djibouti naturally appears to us as a natural people for Africa and more particularly, of course, for East Africa. We are impressed by this important infrastructure. More recent infrastructure, telecom put are the result of a provocative investment policy by the president and the government, which has generated sustained growth in recent years and the development of an increasingly advanced service sector. We are therefore seduced by the attractiveness of Djibouti and also by its quality of the welcome and openness to foreign partners. The environment is favorable to investment. There is a legal framework that evaluates it. There is a physical and financial security to make its convertibility against the dollar. I would like to take advantage of this presence of His Excellency the Prime Minister to underline the effort made by your country to develop this infrastructure, which has helped accelerate its growth, but also the wisdom of your policy of the regional level, which makes Djibouti a haven of peace, diversity, stability, which opens to the world that makes it, from our modest point of view, a kind of Monaco of Africa. This naturally contribute to creating a favorable climate for business, as well as the prospect envisaged for the future with the Vision 2025 plan to position the country as a regional and continental hub.
The president of the Chamber of Commerce emphasized that this forum is a testimony of the existing friendly relations between the two countries. Listen for more detail.
We are happy to continue to discuss business and investment opportunity with the members of the delegation. And it is indeed this kind of meeting that allows us to develop a network of potential partners to seize all business opportunity and exchange product and service, or to share technique or know-how. It is on this occasion that we can learn more about our business culture, our respective commercial legislation, in order to establish a mutual understanding and develop a complementarity of our product and service. Indeed, I am convinced that Djibouti companies can benefit from the technical expertise and international experience of your companies, while the latter could benefit from the knowledge of the growing regional market and the creativity of our companies. And it is also because you are international financial center with a currency pitched to a US dollar with faced exchange rates, a reliable and dynamic banking system that allows investors to benefit from a total freedom of capital movement. It is in this spirit that the President of the Republic, Excellency Ismail Mageli, has promoted a policy of development of port and logistic infrastructure in order to capitalize on the geostrategic position of Djibouti and make it one of the largest free zones of the African continent.
In a speech delivered on this occasion, the minister recalled that this forum creates a link of sharing between the two countries. Listen for more details.
It is timely to continue to strengthen the current platform of dialogue consolidated that the friendly relation Djibouti and Monaco to deepen the cooperation and strategies and strengthen that mechanism of cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, this economic forum is a real opportunity for our business community because it is always us to establish ties of relationship, partnership, and even to conclude the business aimed at the economic and commercial development of our two nations. The European Union remains one of the main trading partners of the Republic of Djibouti. However, the willingness to diversify trade partners over the past decade is displayed by the government and the private sector. The same trend appears with the trade of the prosperity for which the imports outside the European Union are also increasing significantly. The Republic of Djibouti have all the cooperative access to post-fruitful economic relations with Monaco, especially in the strategic sector of tourism, finance, two key sectors for development strategy of Djibouti. Mr. Prime Minister, dear colleagues, dear guests, the Republic of Djibouti, the only member country of the World Trade Organization in the Horn of Africa, remain the reference in terms of good practice of world trade, essential to its natural role as a helper on one of the bases sea lanes of the globe. It is also this quite natural of a strong political will was expressed by the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mamegele, to keep the country in the crevice of economic integration until its accession to the new African Free Trade Area. This is the course.
Prime Minister Abdulkader Kamel Mohammed said, "I am happy to see that the Republic of Djibouti attracts ambitious people." Listen for more detail.
I am pleased to see that the Republic of Djibouti attracts ambitious people eager to invest and undertaking here to create activity and implement. This was the attractiveness of Djibouti. It is oneness to the important reform carried out for many years by the policy of the head of state and is to make our young nation economic and logistical hub in the region. He worked tirelessly with his government and to provide Djibouti with the road infrastructure. He has worked tirelessly with his government to provide Djibouti with road and port infrastructure as well as a modern legal framework and a test system dedicated to the challenge we face. Yes, I tell you, it's attractive in the Horn of Africa, strong economic ties and all which it's no porous as evidenced by the President among us today of the African List Chamber of the Commerce and Industry Recreation, as well as the African Chamber of Commerce and Industry. But I do not forget that the sectorousness of Djibouti, I also own it to women and men who make a meeting like this possible. These women and men talent recognized and respected, who do not hesitate to mobilize their contact, their personal and professional network to make Djibouti shine and contribute to its development.
A meeting on the media coverage of the legislative elections in the presence of the representative of the UDG party and UMP was held at the headquarters of the National Communication Commission, CNC, on Wednesday, February 8, 2023. The UMP was represented by the Minister of Communication, Radwan Abdullahi Bahdoun, and UDG by Mukhtar Mahdi Abdullahi, Campaign Director of UDG. The president of the CNC, Mr. Ali Mohammed Dimbi, opened the sessions by recalling the importance of an equitable distribution of media coverage after the presentations of the Law 96 on the political pluralism. During the electoral campaign, Mr. Suad Hussein, Vice President of the CNC in charge of legal affairs and evaluation policy, the bailiff, Mr. Abadid Eltiri Ardeye, proceeded to the drawings of lot for the order of the areas of the constituency and the political parties in the running. Remember that in the context of media coverage of these legislative elections, the law favors the principle of equity with the 60 minutes to each political party in each constituency, where the political party present candidates. Also, during this meeting held at the CNC, the two representatives, in a spirit of democratic appeasement, congratulated each other and wished each other good luck. Finally, at the end of the meeting, the president of CNC, Mr. Ali Mohammed Dimbio, alerted the party representatives to the importance of radio. He pointed out that during the legislative elections of 2018, the party had not solicited the radio too much, and that this was detrimental to the citizens of rural areas. The ceremony was closed by the signing of charters on the ethics on media coverage by the media and the approvals of the distributions of media coverage by the representative of UDG and UMP parties. The Ministry of Women and Family, in collaboration with all sectoral ministries and the support of ANSI, organized this morning at the People's Palace the ceremony of National Symposium on the harm of cyberspaces amongst children and adolescents. This national colloquium event was chaired by the Minister of Women and Family, Muna Usman Adan, and was attended by the Minister of Budget, Isman Ibrahim Roble, the Minister of Education, Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, and the General Director of ANSI, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Ismail, the representative of UNFPA, Ms. Aisha Ibrahim, and the Deputy Secretary of UNFD, Ms. Rughia, several officials of sectoral ministries, young students of the university and civil society, finally the police and gendarmerie. This awareness on the evils of the internet aims to highlight clear and reassuring information on the issue surrounding cyberspace while providing concrete tools to make it children can be safe. The goal was to organize sessions to highlight clear and reassuring information on the issue surrounding cyberspaces while offering concrete tools to make it a space where children can be safe. For her part, the Minister of Women and Family, Osman Aden, said that this team, being transversal, has brought together all sectoral ministries. In this initiative, the different ministries are working together to bring to the greatest numbers of young people through the territory the danger of the internet social networks. This initiative is a start in the framework of strengthening the digital culture. The auditorium of the National Library of Djibouti hosted yesterday the closing of the consultation workshop on the plans of safeguard the hero elements. The event was chaired by the senior advisors to the Minister of Youth and Cultures, Idris Musa, in the presence of the Director of Culture, Fadouma Abdi Isse, and the 20 women practitioners of the manufacturers of represented in the three southern regions and the city of Djibouti. After 2 days of intense consultation between the executives of the Ministry of Youth and Culture, women practitioners of holders of cultural knowledge, a federation of women was created on this occasion as part of the national strategy for the safeguarding of intangible heritage, including the element. A vote was held by a show of hands to constitute the various executives of this federation. For her part, the Minister of Youth and Culture, Hibo Mumin Asowe, said that this workshop is part of UNESCO's Intangible Heritage Program. Continue her speech. The Minister said that the plan to safeguard the hero is a way to persevere these elements, great cultural values, in order to pass it on the younger generations. This program was started before I became head of this ministerial department. We opted to continue what we was started, said the minister. The minister also suggested she is determined to safeguard these elements. As part of the National Week of the Artists and Mother Tongue, the Minister of Youth and Culture, Hiba Mumin Asowe, chaired a discussion forum with the other composers. The mother tongue, the support of the cultures, even channels of the transmissions of the cultural values, traditional, the authors and composers. So lyricists are the indelible pens of our poetic heritage. Moreover, the debate took place on three themes: the contributions of art to the influence of mother tongue, bridges between art and new technology, and finally, perspectives of art in the services of languages. This event, which had as a theme authors and composers with long mother tongue, saw the participation of several composers and national authors. The minister also suggested that she is determined to strengthen discussions with the holders of cultural knowledge, so that this knowledge is passed on from generations to generation. The minister also expressed that this program should be extended to the whole countries in order to contribute to the sharing of cultural knowledge, because these elements of Somali community, she said that finally the minister entrusted the members of these federations to take the responsibility of revitalizing these cultural elements through training sessions. The winner of the BP Oita Marathon warrant officers Ibrahim Hassan Buh of the Republican Guard returned to the capital this morning after a brief stay in Japan, where he took part in the marathon in which he proudly represented the countries by taking first place. It is thus a friendly and warm atmosphere that he was welcomed at the Air Force Base by a group of the country's defense forces composed of air, land, and sea forces. They were headed by General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces, Brigadier General Tahiru Ali Muhammad, the President's private advisors of defense, Colonel Mustafa Ali Handulle, Colonel Muhammad Jama' Duale, Commander of the Republican Guard, the Chief of the Staff of Air Force Army, Colonel Wahib Musa Khanile, the Director of the National Police, Colonel Abdurrahman Ali Kahin, the Chief of Staff of the National Gendarmerie, Colonel Zakaria Hassan Adan. Also present at this memorable event was the commander of the Japanese military base, Colonel Yoshida, who accepted the invitations to mark these historic moments.
dareen ugan oo cildoon rag iyo dumar ku cabireen inaanay ka caajisayn xilka qaranku u cayimay Ismaaciil Ciiltiro Jabuuti ciyaarihi inka garsiisayo adduunka la cajabe hajira imriga hajiro caafimaad kuwaan Ismaaciil Ciiltiro Jabuuti ciyaarihi inka garsiisayo adduunka la cajabe hajira imriga hajiro caafimaad kuwaan.
After the return and the receptions of the prodigy son of the nations at the civil aviations, the athlete Ibrahim Hassan, as well as the officers and sub-officers who came in mass to welcome him with great pomp and circumstances, went to the headquarters of the Republican Guard. Upon arrivals at the headquarters of the Republican Guard, the athlete Ibrahim Hassan was warmly welcomed by the commander of the Republican Guard, Colonel Mohammed Jama' Duale, and review with the troops of the Republican Guard. After the welcomes and the review of the troops, the commander of the Republican Guard, Colonel Mohammed Jama' Duale, received around the pot of the athlete Ibrahim Hassan, accompanied by his wife and daughters.
casiiska mahadalin cirtirow cadowga ha jabo
An important workshop was held today at the Kempinski Palace, bringing together key stakeholders to discuss the development of the national strategy for the blue economy. The workshop was chaired by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development, Dina Abdallah Umar, and was attended by the Director of Agriculture and Environment of the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, Mr. Wassi Antane, Dr. Wassi Antane, as well as the Director of Sustainable Development, Ms. Bilan Hassan Ismail. The objective of the workshop was to bring together various stakeholders to exchange views on the challenges and opportunities related to the development of the blue economy in Djibouti. Participants discussed the need to focus the blue economy defined as the sustainable use of the ocean resources, economic growth, social well-being, environmental, and health has been a key priority. The country recognizes the significant potential of the blue economy to contribute. For his part, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Environment, Dina Abdallah Umar, stressed the importance of the blue economy for the future of Djibouti. He stressed that the blue economy represents a significant opportunity for the countries to stimulate economic growth and improve the livelihoods of its people while protecting the marine environment. On this day of February 8, 2023, from 9 a.m., the sector centers of the vocational training in transport and logistics, Balbala, organized its first editions of the Forum of Transport and Logistics Trades under the theme "A Training Today for a Job Tomorrow," with the participation of professionals in a format of exhibitions, several both of the various trades of transport and logistics, and a conference. The objective is to highlight our training provided on the trades of transport and logistics and to allow professionals to better understand the various trades of tomorrow. The government's objective is to train young Djiboutians to provide the labor market with the competent students able to respond quickly to the need of the local, regional, and international market. That's why MENFOP has set up a center that offers a promising job and is distinguished by the quality of its students and the quality of its trainers. In the continuity of the awareness campaign of proximity, the ADN proceeded to the sensitizations of the respect of the standards this morning by going to the market Mahmoud Harbi and the market Riyadh to sensitize the merchant of the places to the respect of the standards of hygiene, labeling, packaging of a product, and in particular to the good practices of manufacturers for the respect of the cold chain, but also to make sure that customers can get all the information about the product. ADN is fully committed to accompanying the private sectors in their activity for a better quality of product and services offered to Djiboutian consumers. In addition, these activities of awareness and support of Djiboutian companies will continue in the long term to ensure the protection and security, but also promote the quality of product made in Djibouti available to Djiboutian consumers. The sub-prefecture of Damerjog hosted yesterday a consultation workshop to fight against communicable disease, especially tuberculosis in the localities near the borders. The workshop was organized by the officials of the Artas region with the support of the social strengthening programs of IGA. The opening ceremony of this workshop was chaired by the sub-prefect of the locality of Damerjog, Mr. Abdishakib Noor, and saw the participation of doctors from the region of Damerjog and those from the neighboring localities of Loyada, Somaliland. During 2 days, the doctors from both sides will discuss to strengthen the bilateral relationship in order to support the population. In a speech, the sub-prefect of Damerjog congratulated the partnership between the medical corps of Damerjog and Loyada on the Somali side. For the international scene, Syria and Turkey, international aid begin to be deployed. The tool of the earthquake increases. Listen to Hinda Ibrahim.
Turkey Syria earthquake update. The toll phase 7,000 the total from the two earthquake that struck Turkey and Syria on February 6 as now as it did 7,000 and Turkey's president Recep Tayyip Erdogan has declared a state of emergency in the 10 provinces affected by the disaster. There is against a time and calls continue to take survivors out of the rubble.
This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.